Good evening. How's everybody?
Evening, sir. How you doing?
Good evening. Good. How are you?
I'm excited to be here. I was giggling, but I got myself under control. Y'all are all doing well. One,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And so let me share my screen and see who we got. Welcome to 734. I'll share my screen. All right. And so we've got Stephen, who's joined us from the other class. He's with us tonight. I don't see Jimmy. And who else are we missing? But anyway. All right. So before we get into introduction and all that stuff, I want to make sure I share this with you. I have color coded you a weekly schedule for both of the sections of 734. And so you can see, just like Stephen, he had a kid left at school last night, so he was busy with that and couldn't do class, which is completely understandable. So he's joined us tonight. And so you can see I've color coded. So next week, I'll be our next visit. I'll be in Wayne for that weekend, and you can see if you just look at the color codes. If you miss an online, you can come to the other online. The trouble is sometimes you might miss and the other one's already happened. So if you know you're going to miss, just look at the schedule and try to make sure that you do your attendance. Now, eventually I am going to switch this over at some point this semester. Probably we'll do it at our first class meeting. We'll switch over to Microsoft Teams. Gardner Webb is moving away from Zoom. I don't know how long they'll continue to pay for our accounts. I'm guessing not long. But everybody that's tried to switch over, it's not worked real well for them. So I'm seeing all these alternate Zoom links coming out. I saw one from the dean a few minutes ago. Not my first day. Zoom, Teams wasn't working tonight, so he had to send a Zoom link. And so I've set everything up in Zoom. At our first meeting, we'll all sit down together and see if we can get on Teams with everybody. I want to make sure everybody's with us. And then we'll probably try to make the conversion over to Teams for our class meeting. But right now, we're going to stay on Zoom unless they make us get off. All right. I'm Dale. I am the program coordinator for EDLS. I'm also the chair of the Leadership Studies Department at Gardner Webb. That'd be DEOL, EDLS, and MSA. Many of you know me coming through MSA. If not, I'm the oldest rat in the barn. I've been everywhere, done everything. This is year 46 for me in the business. Year 14 at Gardner Webb, I did 32 in public school, and now I'm here. I'm a methodologist by trade. That's how I got started with Gardner Webb 32 years ago. I started doing methodology for them when I was in central office in Charlotte. I think I was principal then. Yeah, I'm still principal then. But anyway, I've been doing methodology and dissertations for a long time. And so we'll spend some time talking about that when we're together. This is a 9-hour class. Let me say that again. This is 9 credit hours. It's like the kids, elementary kids. A lot of work in this class. A lot. Can't miss, can't get behind. I'll try to stay on time with our classes. We're supposed to go an hour and a half. I'm in about an hour and 15 last night. So I got practice. So hopefully I can get off in an hour tonight now, because we're not doing any actual content this week. But now that's going to be up to y'all, because the way this is going to work is real simple. Saturdays are my days. Sundays are your days. And then during the week is your time. So your responsibility is, I've already divided them up. We do the chapters in the book. To that end, I have purchased the books and uploaded them in the shell where you don't have to buy books this semester, since I'm using them for class assignments. Now, don't tell everything you know to everybody that listens. Barnes and Noble sells textbooks. They like to make money. They don't like it when I buy the books. So don't tell everything you know. All right, Shakita, you got a question?
No question. I'm just excited for you doing that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If they charging you Bulldog bundle or trying to charge you money to, get out of it, you don't need a book this semester. This is zero cost. The books are in there. What we do every week, starting our next virtual class time together, is you review your chapters. Now, we are LS people. This is our tribe. We're not CNI people, the bane of my existence. I don't want to see another Prezi or Canva or PowerPoint with no. Just outline the chapters. You've got to learn to speak extemporaneous. And nobody likes people to sit and read PowerPoints to them. And so you got to tell us what's in these chapters, but you've got to do it in a way that, don't make another PowerPoint. If you make one, make a plain one. And so now you got to make a PowerPoint for your final presentation on the last Sunday when you present your evidence, the employee development plan. That is our cash stream evidence this semester. I've got all the stuff in there for that. That'll be the last Sunday. Now, the previous 2 Sundays, this first and second weekend, you have other assignments that I'll go over in a minute. Now, I'm old. I don't have anything else to do. I'll stay till dark. But now, if you want to get out at lunchtime on Sunday, that's up to y'all. Now, Saturday's my day. I'll go 9 to 4. I'm old, but I still got wind. I'll go all day on Saturdays. And that's when we cover our content. But again, during the week, when we meet weekly and we cover, 3 of you present 3 chapters each from our books. If you take 2 hours, I'll be right here with you. I don't go to bed till after midnight. I sleep from 12:30 to 4:30 a.m. I sleep 4 hours a night. I'll be right with you. So again, you need to learn how to manage your time and how to do things quickly, how to cover materials quickly. The biggest complaint I hear from teachers right now is, and it's always been a complaint, they just now feel empowered to voice it, is professional development that takes too long is of dubious value. 2-hour faculty meetings, dumbassery like that. We're LS people. We're not supposed to do dumb things like that. Now, full disclosure, I've been married to soon to be 40 years to an EDCI lady sitting right in there. So I'm at the big house tonight. I came home. But they are the bane of our existence. They're different from us. For somehow we've kind of become them. We need to get back and be us again. We need to be LS people. We go fast, we hit it, we move, we go, we make decisions, we gather data. We're about our business. People, I use 2 metaphors to explain the difference. EDCI people think that having a meeting is the work of the organization. LS people know that we only need to plan and then go do the work. The meeting itself is not the work. And so I get asked, well, they'll give me an example. Well, here's the thing. If Loretta came to me and said, I need to get up on the roof, I would say one of 2 things to her. I'll get my ladder, or I know a man with a ladder. If you said the same thing, if Loretta went to my wife, an EDCI lady, and said, I need to get up on the roof, she's going to know why. We'd have to form a committee. We'd have a PLC. We'd have to have an articulation group. We'd have to write a paper, and then we'd have to do 7 PowerPoints with Canva so that they were pretty. And next year, when the roof fell in because it's been leaking this whole time, they want to know why that happened. Then they want to try to get together, figure out why the roof fell. No, that's not who we are. LS people, we're action people. If we did the compass activities, we're North people. We're going that way. Let's go. Let's saddle up. Let's ride. I'm seeing more and more where we think that the format of what we do is more important than the content. It is not. It is not. So I will show you. Let me share my screen right quick. I will show. Now this is the most. Well, you can see it when I do the weekly schedule, and I've got one that's got everything we're going to do on it as well. I may have already uploaded it. Look at me. No, I just did the one that's not color coded. I've got one that's got what we do every week on it. I'll pull it up in a minute. But here's one. I'm gonna pull something up here right quick. Come on, you can do it. This is the most. This is as high tech as it gets for me right here. This is the most involved PowerPoint I've ever made. It's 10 slides long, and one of them's an introductory slide. What have I got on here? Bullets, big ideas. If you can't speak extemporaneously to your staff, you can't be a principal. You can't be a central office person. That I've got a template for y'all's presentation. One, and it's even sparser than that. And so the whole notion here, I want the content of your ideas. I don't want you spending all your time on making all this stuff. I want you to read it. I want you to tell us what it means. Your job as an administrator is to wade through all this stuff, figure out what it means, and then be able to share that with your staff, whether you're at the central office level or whether you're the principal at the school level. That's your job, is to cut through all the other stuff and say, here's what we need to do. You know, when I was in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, when I was a principal, high school principal in CMS, I had hair. And I know it probably seems, but that's how long ago it was. But anyway, when we would go to the monthly principals meeting, they'd have a huge stack of material sitting on the table with your name on it, 140 principals. There's 180 something now. There's 140 then. And, you know, I had so much stuff you needed a boy to help you carry it. I mean, it was huge. And so during the whole morning's general session, all they saw was the top of my head, because I was sitting there looking down and I was sorting those stacks, and I made 3 stacks. One of them was just FYI for your information stuff. The other was this: we have to do it, and do it now, do it this way for fidelity. That was a small stack. And then here's a stack of stuff that, you know, faculty, we got to do this, but we get to make some decisions about it. That's the difference between the action and the consent agenda at the faculty meeting. And so when we broke for lunch after that whole morning session, all those boxes that I had of that stuff for FYIs, I went out the door. Everybody thought I was heading to my truck. I just made a quick left, put it in the dumpster. I didn't bother to take it back to the school. That's your job. You got to weed through all of the detritus, the debris, the data, the information overload. What's the crux of this? What have we got to do? The only thing I took back to school is stuff that we had to do. And I had it sorted into, we got to do this for this way at this time for fidelity, or we get some choices. But, you know, it's how we implement this. That's all I ever took back to school. Everybody else is, you know, carrying all them boxes out to their vehicles during lunch. I had one little pack of papers about that size. That's all I had. That's the rest of that stuff. I don't need any more information. I got more than I need now. I've read through it. I've got it. We're good to go. You've got to get in that habit. Otherwise, you just get snowed under as a school administrator. You can't. The time just eats you up. It just absolutely eats you up. This is a personnel course. And so we're going to work through all of that. And part of that, you know, managing personnel is managing yourself. That's first part of personnel. This first lesson in personnel class. You got to learn to manage yourself before you manage and lead anybody else. You got to lead yourself. So that's the notion. So every week when we meet online, you will be presenting chapters. Every Saturday, I'll be presenting content. Every Sunday, you'll be presenting your projects. That's the way it will work. And again, Sundays, if y'all go to 4 o'clock, we'll stay to 4 o'clock. If you get that done at 12, we'll go home. And so, you know, learn to manage your time. Learn to manage your time. I believe there's 9 in this group. And so, I mean, you can do the math. If you take about 20 minutes a piece, we can get out by lunchtime that last. But if everybody does an hour, if everybody talks like me and exercises their ego, it might be dark before we get That's up to you. You've got to learn. You got to learn that. Managing yourself is the first part of learning to manage and lead personnel. All right. So let's look at our shell. Hopefully everybody knows how to do the shell. And so the first thing in the shell is the roster. Is this everybody that we're supposed to have? Lauren, Jimmy, Shakita, Sandra, Loretta, Paula, Pauline, Carlos, and James. Are we missing anybody? I think that's everybody. All right, so everybody here tonight. All right. So Loretta, start with you. Tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Loretta Kimball. I am the MTSS coordinator for Hope County School District.
MTSS coordinator for Hope. You live in Rayford?
Yes. Hope
I'm
County
sorry.
Schools. No, I live in Fayetteville, but I work in Rayford.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Your IQ just doubled. Yeah. Yeah. If you're smart enough to live in Fayetteville and commute to Hope, then you're like, yeah. Then you can make it. We can work with you. Oh Lord, what a mess Hope County is. Good people. But now Fayetteville's one of my favorite places. I love Fayetteville. Nobody else but me loves it. But it brings back memories of my time spent there as a youth. That was another time in another place. I did basic training summer camp at Bragg. So, and that was a long time ago. Long time ago. In a land far, far away. And I spent a minute or two on Hay Street. Back when it was really Hay Street. And so, but I still love going to Fayetteville. Because people, I love it. I love Fayetteville and Goldsboro. My favorite two Eastern North Carolina towns. Military, good people, honest, forthright, good places. I like that a lot. Welcome, Loretta. All right.
Thank you.
Carlos. Excuse me, Karis. I can't even see. I know you.
Yeah, it's Karis.
Karis.
Yes, I am the EC Exceptional Children's Director for Hope County Schools. But
where do you live?
I live in Raleigh.
You live in, well, again, see. And so you commute?
Yes.
Cars. Okay. Well, I always teach people about Hope County. We had a situation there a few years. We sent a clinical supervisor out and they had her arrested in the front office of the building. And so I always teach people about being from there. That she showed up to supervise an intern and they thought she was, I don't know what transpired, but they ended up having her arrested right there in the front of the building. And so I couldn't get anybody else to go to Hope County for a long time after they arrested her.
I believe it.
It's a different place, but it's a good place. You're the EC director, and so in
Yes.
Hope.
Yes.
It's good to have you. All right. Okay, Sandy. Sandy's still muted. Sandy, are you with us? I see you. There you go.
I lost my cordless mouse.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm Sandy Jones. I'm actually in South Carolina, and I'm in Dillon County, in the city of Latta for Dillon District 3. And I work in federal programs. I wear a lot of hats, but that's one of them.
I'm sorry, you're in what?
Federal programs.
Federal programs. Okay. Well, glad to have you. Latta. Had a former student who's down that way somewhere. I don't think he's in Dillon. He's what's the next one toward the coast from Dillon?
There's Horry County and Marion.
I think he's in Marion,
Okay.
or is where Myrtle Beach is. Yeah, yeah, I got it. I'm trying to locate where you are. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. All right, Paula.
Hey, I'm Paula King Jacobs. I'm an assistant principal in Pender County.
Pender, right above Wilmington.
Yes, I live in Wilmington. So does that
Yeah.
raise my IQ a little bit?
Yep, it does. It does. I like working with smart people. It does. Well, I had a really good student years ago when I taught for Gardner Webb. We were at Harvard. I had one that was from Burgal,
Uh-huh.
and she was really good with graphics. She was the first person I ever saw use Prezi, and she could make it move and dance and shoot fireworks and all that. But she didn't know, it was really good. I was really impressed, except what the content she had was of no value.
Oh,
But
well,
it was entertaining.
I'm the assistant principal at Burgal Middle School. So right in Burgal.
In downtown Burgal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that big town Burgal.
Yeah. Glad to have you. All right. Pauline, are you with us? I see she's muted. There she comes.
Hi, my name is Pauline, and I'm struggling to view my pictures, and I'm to have my video shown. So I'm trying to log into my desktop. My name is Pauline. I live in Raleigh. I work for Wake County Public Schools as the lead specialist for the Spanish program. What else? That's about it. I had you.
Yeah, I came and visited you at your school down in the southern part of Raleigh.
Yep, I'm still in the same school.
Yep. I got caught in the afternoon bus dismissal. I had to sit in the parking lot for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my fault, but that was the only place they let me park. I knew that was going to happen, but that's the last time I saw you. So
It's a mess. It's a mess.
yeah, but glad to have you back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Back. Let me see. James.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm excited to be. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to be back in your class. My name is
I'm
James.
glad to have you back again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I remember them days too in Fayetteville. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I am a assistant principal now at Smithfield Middle School in Johnston County.
Mm-hmm.
And I also live in Fayetteville.
Yeah, in Johnston. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's been a trial and a tribulation to be in Johnston lately. All that's going on there.
Oh yeah, but we got a good superintendent this time.
Who you got now?
We got Dr. Bracy. He's been there for about 5 years.
Yeah.
He cleaned up some of the stuff that was going on in the central office, and he's been like top superintendent for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Jim Cosby went, and he didn't stay long. But they just had him as interim, and then they kind of cleaned things up. And so one of the ladies that works with me in the MSA program is from Princeton, on that end of the county, and they've been very pleased.
Oh, okay.
And so they're on the Princeton end of Johnston County. They're on 70 coming into Goldsboro that way. So yeah, it's a good place, but we're glad to have you. Shakita.
Hey, it's Shaquetta.
Quetta.
Yep, Shaquetta Harris. And I am the behavior support coordinator for the good old county of Hoke.
We got all these Hope County people, but y'all are gonna fix Hope County. I already know that.
Oh yeah.
What do you do for them?
I'm the behavior support coordinator.
Behavior support coordinator. All right. Well, all right. Jimmy's on his phone. Where are you, Jimmy?
Right now I'm traveling to Pine Forest right now, but I'm about to get off the road. But Jimmy Gauze, I work at Pine Forest Middle School. I do restorative justice. And I work in Cumberland County Schools. I stay in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Restorative. What school are you stationed at now in Cumberland?
Yeah, I'm at Pine Forest Middle School.
Pine Forest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I know who that is. Jimmy and I had dinner fairly recently at Wilbur's in Goldsboro during the summer.
Yeah, we ate some good barbecue.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Look at me. I know barbecue. It's pretty good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's pretty good. And so, yeah, we're glad to have Stephen. You can go ahead and introduce yourself. You're not with this group, but if you're listening, I think, Stephen, are you there? I think I got everybody else. All right. So I'm glad to have you all.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, Stephen, tell us who you are and where you are.
I am currently in Greensboro, North Carolina. I am assistant principal of a middle school in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County School District.
AP, and where are you in Winston?
I'm at Mineral Springs Middle School. We are a magnet school, A+ school, and a visual performing arts.
Oh yeah. Magnet school. Visual and performing performing arts. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. What's the importance of a personnel class? Well, the first thing that we're going to do again, you got to learn to manage yourself and lead yourself. And then we're going to look at it from the central office perspective. We're going to do adult learning theory, some of those kinds of things in my content. We're going to look at human resources and personnel from both the district perspective, because some of you are in the district office, but we're going to look at it from the school perspective as well. So that's the goal. Biggest problem, what's the biggest problem in personnel right now?
Vacancies.
Retention, right?
Not enough
Vacancies.
personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody everywhere. That's one of the reasons I have you introduce yourself is, everybody everywhere has got vacancies, can't get people to work. Can't retain the ones that they have. Next semester, y'all are going to have a 12-hour course in qualitative and quantitative research. And you'll learn about theoretical frameworks. We stand on the shoulders of giants. Our two major theorists this semester are Malcolm Knowles, andragogy and adult learning theory, and Frederick Hertzberg about retention, about satisfaction, job satisfaction, staying and going. Biggest problem that I see that, I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag tonight, from when we're together and I do my lesson. Biggest problem I see right now is folks don't understand Hertzberg's two-factor theory. Satisfaction is not a continuum. It's two different things. You're dissatisfied or you're satisfied. It's not a continuum. It's two factors. There are things that make you happy, and there's things that make you mad. Our problem in the school business right now, just like with our doctoral students, they'll get to chapter 5 of a Hertzberg study. I was actually, the reason I came in right at 7 o'clock, I was with Joe Service, one of my doctors, and he's doing a retention study in his district right now. We get, they tell me, everybody, I understand Hertzberg, two factors, things that make you happy, things that make you mad, things that make you stay, and things, until we get to chapter 5. And then all I see is a list of things, of recommendations of things to do. If it's truly a two-factor theory, I should see an equal list of things to stop doing, that you need to quit. That's the part that's killing us right now in public schools in North Carolina. We continue to want to do more things. You know, there's a couple of notions here. You can't do more with less. You do less with less. First thing you learn about personnel, you do less with less. You can't do more with less. It's not possible. And many times in personnel, what you stop doing is more important than what you start doing. So here's the notion, and now I'm guilty of all this. You know, all three of these dumbasseries I did. Bringing donuts once a month, letting teachers wear jeans on Friday, and bringing Price's Chicken Coop in Charlotte, traditional place in Charlotte. It's now gone out of business, but it was there for 60 years. Bringing Price's, Chicken Coop chicken twice a semester. All three of those things. You say, boy, that makes them happy. They jump up and down. Buying them swag, number 4, buying them swag, all that, coats and all that as a high school principal. None of that counteracts the idiocy of having a 2-hour faculty meeting after class, after they've worked all day on Wednesday. Let me say that again. No amount of swag that you can buy them, no amount of chicken, no amount of donuts, no amount of letting them wear tennis shoes and jeans on Friday will make up for the idiocy of a 2-hour faculty meeting. So circling back, why did I sit there and sort through all that stuff that they gave me at that faculty meeting that I'm supposed to, present to the faculty the next day? We would always meet on Tuesdays. The principal's meeting would be on Tuesday, because what did they expect us to do to the faculty on Wednesday? All that stuff, that truckload of stuff that they gave me, they expected me to pass that along to the faculty on Wednesday. So why did I get started on Tuesday morning, sitting there in the auditorium, still listening to whoever was blabbing on up at the front of the room there? What was I doing? I was sorting through all that stuff so that I could figure out what's on the action agenda, things that we've got to decide how we're going to do it, and what's going to be on the consent. We don't get to decide how this is done. The district wants it done the same way everywhere for fidelity, so they can kind of measure the effectiveness of it, so that when I hit that faculty meeting at 2:30, again, Charlotte High School's early start, bell ring at 2:15, we cleared the bus lot, faculty meeting starts at 2:30. That when Purvis' stopwatch, he was a PE teacher, and he could operate, couldn't do a lot, but he could operate a stopwatch since he was in PE. And when I walked in and I hit the clock, 30 minutes, just like dominoes, 30 minutes or less. That's what made me popular as a high school principal, not all the other stuff that I did for me. It's what I didn't do. I didn't hold them 2 hours after class. I didn't put them through some PD that they didn't care about and that wasn't any good. You think about all the bad stuff that we do to teachers that we don't have to, or that we do to employees that we don't have to. So one of the big takeaways from this course is A, adult learning theories, how adults learn and how we should be dealing with them, and B, that satisfaction has 2 factors, and it may be more important the things that we stop doing than the things that we start doing. If you can take those things away, then your understanding of personnel will be pretty good. All right. So everybody knows what we're going to do this semester. Let me lead you through our shell to make sure that you can see where everything is. Let me share my screen. All right. All right. These pictures all have significance. This is Jennifer Croyman's. Jennifer graduated in December, was past December. She was principal until last week at Nebo Elementary in McDowell County. She just got promoted to director of EC. But what's important about her is that I got her in May and she was nowhere. We defended her proposal the last day of summer school, and she defended her final dissertation the last day of the fall semester. So this notion of I'm behind and no, if you'll work, we'll get you through. We get so many students who think that they have to have a topic and they have to have data right now. No, you don't. If you know, dissertation is important, it's the most important thing. But the whole notion of a dissertation is just to finish it. We'll do that. We'll get you there. But Jennifer's an example of in June, July, August, September, October, November. In 6 months, she went through pretty much the whole thing. 6 months. I'm not saying everybody can do that, but the notion that you need to have some idea now in 734, your third course, no, you don't. She did hers in 6 months. That's Heidi. Heidi did hers at a place that didn't support her because they didn't like her topic. She's an example of determination, but my point is, don't be like Heidi. Your job is not to change the world. What's your job? Your job is to finish your dissertation, period. Heidi was at a place where they didn't support her topic. And it was nearly impossible for her to finish, but she did. But nobody should have to go through what she went to. Basically, she ended up having to leave that job because of the hard feelings. Because I had to twist some arms to help her get data. I won't do that anymore because they took that out on her. So she's a lesson of what not to do. Love Heidi. And I appreciate the study that she did, but she had to change careers because the idea of your doctorate is to help you and promote your career, not end your career. Let's see, that's me and Talia. Talia came through the MSA and she went through. Talia is an example of perseverance. She's a good one. In that she had a lot of adversity, but she went right through it again. She finished right on time. This is Dr. Sarah Newham. Sarah is one of those EDCI ladies that I do that special deal with. And she decided she wanted to be a school administrator, she was in the first group of EDCIs that I do the MSA doctoral deal with them in the fall. I'm doing one in Charlotte right now. But anyway, she was one of the EDCI ladies that finished her doctorate over there and then came over and did the MSA with us in one semester in a crash course and loved it so much she became an AP, and now she's principal at A.L. Brown in Kannapolis. But the idea there is you got to find your passion. She found her passion. When she came to do the course with me in laws on the crash course on MSA to get her principal's license, she did it so she could pass the curriculum instruction specialist exam. There's a quirk in North Carolina law. They have to take the Praxis 5412 for curriculum instruction to get their specialist license. That's the administrative. And so they'll come over and do a semester with us. We do a crash course, 12-hour course with them to get them prepared for the exam. We do 601 and 603 with them in one semester. And quite unknowingly fell in love with it, but she found her passion. My metaphor here is find your passion in what you want to do. That's how many folks we have at Gardner Webb. You can see we fill the auditorium up. There's Frank Cagle. All right, Frank finished. When was that? That looks like December, maybe. No, was that May or December? I think that was December. I think that was December when Frank. Yeah, it was December when Frank finished. Had to be because my beard was grown out. Santa Claus. I got Frank there. Frank's the bell cow, and so I've already talked to all of y'all. All of you are smart. If Frank Cagle is smart enough to finish a doctorate, all of y'all, trust me. But Frank just made it on grit and determination. Frank's dumb as a fence post. But he got through because he followed directions and he was dedicated. And Frank will tell you that. Frank will tell you that he's not smart. He just worked hard. and he followed the directions. He's an example. If you will work hard and follow the directions, you can get through as well. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. That's why Frank's picture's there. I love Frank. This is Whitley. Whitley came through the MSA program. That was her defending. Whitley, again, her data didn't converge in chapter 4, and she had to rewrite all of chapter 2 and chapter 3. But she did it with grace and dignity and smiled and went on about her business. That's why she's there. This is Razan. She's a woman of faith. Not my faith. I'm not Muslim. I'm just Baptist. But I appreciate her as a woman of faith. She made it through. Your faith will carry you through. That's why I have Razan's picture there. She's Jordanian. It's 3 of my ladies that were with me for a long period of time. Most particularly Rebecca is to our left of me in the picture. Started with her back in the old face-to-face days 14 years ago. And she's, I think, assistant superintendent in Gaston now. She was teaching at Cherryville High School at the time. I had 6 from the same school. And she was the smartest one of the 6. And she will one day be superintendent in that district. But the idea with this group is you can make it. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your race. If you're good, you will make it. All 3 of these ladies have excelled in counties that thought that they would never see women do what they've done, but they are anyway, because it's just hard work. And then I'm gonna do this one last. She's my hero. I'll do her last. And there's Vera. Vera's was, one of the better ones I ever saw. Vera's was very smart, very a great writer. She's kind of the bell cow for the smartest person we ever had in the MSA program. I'm serious. She is the smartest. Frank's the dumbest. She's the smartest. They both finished it. But the reason I've got her is this notion of, for some reason, folks think they need somebody from their district on their committee. The reason I've got Vera there is a lot of times those people are talking through their hat. They're speaking beyond the authority that they have to get you data. And if they can't get you data, we don't need them. If they don't help with access to data to get your data for your dissertation, we don't need them. We had to move around to different districts because of Vera's, and she was a semester late finishing because of that. Because her person said she could do things that she didn't have the authority to do. So we had to be careful of that. There's Dwayne. Dwayne was with us all the way through. He came through the MSA as well. Dwayne is in public information now. You say, well, why in the world is he getting his doctorate? Because it was important to him. Again, it has to be important to you. Getting your doctorate you can't do it for somebody else. It's got to be about you, and that's why he got his. And we finish up with Winter. I don't care who you are on the screen tonight. None of you has had a harder road as that one. None. She was 14 and pregnant and homeless and lumpy, and now has her doctorate as principal in Goldsboro. Danny Stedman, Dr. Stedman from the MSA program that runs the little charter school there in Pembroke, took her in. She was 14 and homeless, pregnant. Her son's just finished his MBA. He's in his late 20s now. Yeah, 14 pregnant, homeless. She has her doctorate now. Danny took her in. She got a basketball scholarship. She's worked her way up. Had her in an MSA program face-to-face in Goldsboro. She's my doctoral student. She's my hero. Now, it gets worse. Wait a minute. She's 2 weeks away from defending, has a massive stroke, and falls out. Has to learn to talk again, has to learn to walk again. She gets delayed for a year. but she still, you saw her, she eventually walked. She was 2 weeks away from defending. Her dissertation was in the can and struck down by a stroke. At 40 years of age, principal's high stress job. She survived it, got up and went through and continued on. So, life gets in the way. I understand that, but you can't let it. You cannot let it do that. So those are some of my heroes and some of the people that matter. They all serve a purpose to remind us. I'll put more pictures as we go. All right, start here, click to open. First steps, make sure you do your verification of enrollment. Here are your textbooks right here. They're in PDF form. All you have to do is download them and you can do your you can do your assignments out of those. Again, I just want something written down. I don't want PowerPoints. All right, so Wayne weekly schedule here. Let's make sure that it all opens. I opened some things a while ago, but I don't open them all. We'll make sure they're working. All right, so right here it tells you tonight we do introduction on Blackboard. We'll do our evidence, our chapter presentations, directions, the final presentation, and weekend assignments, and then as I said, my day on the first Saturday together is adult learning theory, Knowles, Andragogy, and Hertzberg. And then that first Sunday, you've got 3 activities due: district recruitment activity, mentoring activity, and interview activity. And then as you can see, we do chapter class presentations. And then weekend 2 on Saturday, I do district human resources. And on Sunday, y'all present your human resources plan and your HR director interview. Then again, we continue on with our class presentations and chapters that y'all do. And then the last Sunday, I do human resources from the school perspective. As I told you, I'm going to do adult ed in adult learning in Hertzberg. Then I'm going to do district HR, and then I'm going to do school HR. And then y'all will do the presentation of your attached stream evidence, the employee development plan at the last Sunday. And again, this day, you see, I know how long Saturday's going to go. Now, I've estimated that we try to be out there by 1 o'clock, but again, that'll be up to y'all. So that's the overall schedule that we're going to do. Now, that's kind of broad brush strokes. Let's fill that in with the actual things now. All right. Syllabus, policies, other courses. Here's the syllabus, the attendance. Y'all know all that stuff. Get started in your course. Remember, you got to do that 30-hour clinical log on your own honor every semester. There it is. Introduce yourself. There that is. Put in a current resume. All right. All right. Here is the evidence, the employee development plan template and guidance. I've got some notes, and I've got some, as we always do in the MSA program, I've got steps for success, got some keys, some things for you to do. And here's where you put in your individual parts, A, B, C, and D, and then the final all together. And then there's you turn it in. And then here's our presentation schedule that starts next week with our class. So right here it is. Okay, this is the Wayne students, y'all. So Lauren, Jimmy, and Shaquetta are up first with Glickman chapters 1 through 3, 4, 5, and 6 through 9. And then you can see how it goes. Now, I used a very complicated system of how I designed who went what, where, and when. As you can see, I just did it alphabetically. Now, what that means is I have no dog in the fight. I don't care when you go. So if you know that you can't, or if you can trade with somebody else, I'm fine. But when I came on Zoom class 2, I expect to see Glickman chapters 1 through 3, 4 and 5, and 6 through 9. And so if James can't do that and Sandy can and he can trade with her, that's fine with me. But now I'm not going to get involved in those negotiations. This is part of that personnel, that personal power of persuasion. So that's it. And then the second half, we do Bowman and Deal. It's the same thing. We go back through the same lineup again. Pretty simple, isn't it? So that's what we do at all of our weekly classes on Thursday nights. Pretty easy. And here's the school district administration materials that I'm going to cover that weekend. There, all those are. Here's the dissertation materials that I'm going to do kind of late in the day when we can cover some of that. Here's the Zoom class one, weekend one. Here are the materials that I'm going to cover on the first Saturday when I'm doing adult learning theory in Hertzberg. You can see I've got all my stuff there already. On Sunday, y'all do student presentations. All right, so let's look at those three presentations. District recruitment activity in Dropbox. It tells you right here. What is your district doing to recruit staff? Submit a one-page information. Now, when I say one page, what that means is up to one page. A half page is even better. All the efforts your district has made in this area. All right, that's the first one that you do that Sunday. Then the second one you do. Read the linked article and submit a one-page response on how your district mentored new staff. Again, half page is better. And then the third activity we'll do that Sunday. Answer the following question. What are the 4 top qualities you would look for if you were hiring a teacher assistant? Again, half page is better. And then you can talk about it, you can explain it. So that's the first Sunday's activity. And then more classes with presentation. Again, I'm going to do district human resources the second Saturday. There's all the materials I'll cover. Sunday, y'all are going to do human resources plan. Here's the template right here. And it's got what you need right here in it. Again, you can tell who made this template. It's only 6 slides long. I want big ideas here. You should be able to talk. Think about leading a faculty or a department. You got to be able to speak to people. Standing up, reading PowerPoints. That's just relying on positional authority. You can't lead personnel. So that's the first one. Do the second Sunday. The other one is you're to do a HR director interview, and here are the questions right here that you were to ask. Simple as that. 1 to 2 page summary of this interview, and you tell us about it. I want you to be able to don't sit and read 2 pages to me. I want you to be able to speak about what you learned about these things about. So this is the second of the activities due at the second Sunday. Remember, Sundays are your day, Saturdays are my day. And then we have more of the class sessions where y'all do your chapter presentation. And then the final weekend, I'll do school human resources and probably do some methodology data and IRB if it doesn't take too long. And maybe try to get you prepared for 736 next semester. And then your final presentation will be your employee development plan presentation. That's a PowerPoint. And that's it. So that's what we're going to do this semester. Everything is laid out. Understanding our book, you take the lead on telling us about the chapters of the book each week that we meet on Thursday night. Every Saturday that we meet is my day. I cover content all day. Every Sunday is your day where you do your presentations. All right, pretty simple design, not hard. Again, don't spend the time on the content of your project instead of making these fancy presentations. I don't need to see another PowerPoint. I mean, my life will have been complete if I never see another PowerPoint in my life. My life will have been complete. That is the most overused crutch in the history of public education, unfortunately. It's a PowerPoint. We think if we put it on PowerPoint, that everybody understands. Doesn't work that way. All right. I've told you everything I know and some that I don't. Again, I really like going to Goldsboro. I'm looking forward to being out there with you. What's that? going next weekend. We're gonna be together next weekend. Yep, I'm excited about that. To be seriously, I get to go to Wilbur's and eat, and be there. A lot of good people in Eastern North Carolina. I went to school down there with all of you folks, and so from that side of the world, although I'm from the far west, but I still love it there. Great place. I really look forward to coming to class. It's the joy of this job is get to be in class with y'all. I'm so pleased to get to do that again, to get to see people face to face. All right, questions you have for me? Is everything understandable? Everybody knows what everybody's responsibilities are during the weeks on Zoom. Y'all are going to do your factors. Saturdays I present content. Sunday you present projects. Everybody knows what we do. We meet 9 to 4 on Saturday, and hopefully we're out by 1 o'clock on Sunday. But again, that'll be up to y'all. Now, they don't let us have food or drink in the building there, so I can't, you'll have to bring your own coffee or slip around snack or something. They frisk us at the door. You know me, I carry a big box with coffee makers, pastries, biscuits. They don't let us have any of that stuff. And so I have to let you out for lunch. So we'll break each day. Now, Sunday we will not break for lunch. So if y'all go to 4 o'clock, you'll just have to miss your lunch. Because the idea is to be done by lunchtime. You can eat lunch on the way home. All right. But Saturdays, we will break for lunch on Saturdays, but we will hopefully be done by lunchtime. All right. Anybody have anything for the good of the group before we go? Everybody's good. Everybody knows what we're going to do. Love you, mean it. I'll see you next week. Everybody have a good one. And thank you for choosing Garden to Win.
Thank you, Dr. Lamb.
Bye.
Thank you.